Hi you and welcome back to The Bridge. If it's your first time here, my name is Lindy and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great week, and if you're not, I hope it only gets better from here. I hear second semester in university has begun, so I hope it is a really good semester. Remember, second semester goes very quickly, so just make sure that you're on it from the get-go instead of having to catch up in August, September, just before exams like I would usually have to do in university, which was not a good thing. Make it easier for yourself towards the end. So yeah, today's video, as in the title, we're continuing our discussion on group work in university, and today we're going to be focusing on the different types of people that you're going to meet in group work. The aim of this video isn't to mock or to belittle or to make fun of any personality. It's also not meant to categorize people, but it is just to give you an idea of the types of people that you're going to meet, or the types of role players that you're going to meet in a group, pros and cons of every personality, and just how to embrace each personality and each type of person that you'll be working with in groups. So let's get right onto it. The first person that you're likely to meet, or the first role that you're likely to see in group work in university, is the captain or the leader. And this is the person that gets things going. This is the person that takes charge. This is the person who kind of takes that first authority, and they're likely to be the person that gets everyone's contacts and gets people into a group chat, and is the one that begins the conversation and says, hey guys, so we have this group chat in order to do this group work. When can we have our first meeting? They just take initiative. They keep things organized, and they're usually the ones that are, pushing for things to get done in a group. And so when you sit down for your first in-person meeting, this will usually be the person that's leading the meeting and saying, hi guys, welcome, can we all introduce ourselves? Okay, yeah, so did we all manage to read through the assignments? I hope we did. How are we going to assign this? Who would like section A, section B, section C, section D? They're not afraid to speak. They're not afraid to say what they think. They're not afraid to suggest new ideas and plans and ways of doing things. To the quiet person in a group, this type of person could come across as dominating or domineering, even though that's usually not the intention. They're just very outspoken. Like they just speak their mind and want things to get done. On the good side, there is extreme value to the captain, because you only actually realize their value once you're placed in a group where the captain isn't there. So I've been placed in groups where there wasn't this kind of person, there wasn't this kind of personality, which meant one of two things. Either everyone was mature enough and everyone took initiative to get the work done and to communicate and to say, hey, you want this section, I want this section, you can get this section done. Okay guys, let's submit all our things by next week Thursday, and things actually got done. The second scenario, without the captain type of person there, was that nothing would get done. Like the group chat would be quiet until 2 weeks before the deadline. Someone would randomly just send a message like, hi guys, we have a due date, oh, how are we going to do this? So it was in those situations where I realized actually how valuable that role is, just to ensure that we all get pushed, that we all just have that little, like, not a threat, but just know that get your work done. To the captain, if you are this type of person in a group, I would say just make sure that people get listened to. So don't just stick to your way. It's not your way or the highway. Realize that there's a lot of other people who have very valuable input, and you'll find that another way of doing the work could in the end be far better than what you were thinking or your way of doing things. Or sometimes you'll find that a combination of ideas, you take a piece of that, you take a piece of that, and you take a piece of that, will probably be the best solution to get that assignment done. So to the captain, I just say, just ensure that you listen, especially the quieter people, the people who seem like they don't want to say anything or they're too timid to say anything. Give them a voice, give them a stage. Yeah, just make sure that people get listened to. So let's move on to the second type of person that you're likely to meet in group work. This is who I call the academic. And the academic is someone who usually gets distinctions for their modules. I mean, this person is acing their modules, is acing university, and they don't want this group work. They don't want this group project to pull down their mark for this module, because this module is also a module they want to get a distinction in. And so how you're likely to identify this person is they're very detail orientated, they're very consistent, and they want the same from their group members. So they're likely to have ideas or a way of doing things that is very precise, very accurate. And so they'll probably give ideas like, I don't know, like this, maybe like, guys, we need to do research on this, and we need to do research on this, and the lecturer will probably want us to do this, and maybe there could be different way of approaching this problem, and maybe they'll even suggest meeting with the lecturer in order to get clarity about certain questions, just to ascertain exactly what the lecturer wants to see in that assignment or what the lecturer is looking for. They are someone who wants to achieve high. They want to do well in that assignment. And so the con to this person is that they can feel very demanding, because they require so many things. They usually, as an individual, go the extra mile to get their own individual work done. And so it may seem like they also want the same thing from other people. They want you to also go the extra mile, for you to submit research, and for the work to be done extremely well, which doesn't always go well with everyone, because not everyone has the same capacity. And what I mean by that is not to do with intelligence, it's not to do with how smart people are, but it's to do more so with how much time people have and the priorities that different people have in their lives. You'll find that some members in group work have a part-time job or even full-time job, where they will do what, like, they will give their best effort, they will submit things on time, and they will give pretty good, a pretty good submission, but it just might not be to that extremely high standard that the academic it requires. So you'll find that people just don't have the same capacity to give the same effort to work. But the pro with having the academic on your team, the pro with this person is that they want and will try their best to ensure that the group project is of a high standard, which will be to everyone's advantage. I've been in group assignments where the group mark was so wow that it pushed my overall average for that module up by like 8% plus. Like, guys, it really is a short-term sacrifice, short-term pain for long-term benefits, because that group module, because that group project really will help to push your average up. To the academic, I would say, once again, listen to other people as well. Be willing to accept correction and be willing to hear other ideas of doing things that could actually add more value to the group work itself. Also understand that don't lower your standards, right? But just be reasonable and be patient with people who might not have the same capacity that you have for this group work project. So realize that people have different focuses, and their focuses and their effort might lie elsewhere. This does not excuse bad work. This does not justify people not submitting on time or doing their work properly, but it just might not be to that high standard that you were looking for. The third type of role that you meet in group work in university is the quiet worker. This is the person who is here simply to get the work done. They just want to get the assignment done, they want to do it well, and they want to get it over and done with. This person isn't as focused like the academic on getting a 99% whatever. They'll be happy with like 80 or 70, but this person does good work. They do what they're supposed to. They submit things on time, usually. Sometimes they can be a bit delayed, but even when they are delayed, they communicate and they get their work done on time. This person can be quiet. In other words, the con to this person is that even if they have an idea, they might be timid to say it, or even if they want a certain part of the work, they might not be vocal about what they want in a group. Basically, this person is willing to sacrifice what they want in order to maintain harmony in the group, in order to keep peace with the group. So if they see, okay, the majority is saying this, I think let's just stay with that. Or okay, ABC have already been taken, I'll just do D. It's okay. Even if I didn't want it, I'll do it. But the pro to this person is that they get the work done and they do it well. This person will give good effort in the work that they do. To the quiet worker, I would say learn to be more vocal. You could have the idea that takes this group project to the top, but you're too scared to say it. So learn to say it. Learn to say it's scared, and don't think that just because that idea wasn't accepted that it's anything to do with you. No, it's just the general preference of the group, and it's maybe another idea is more efficient or more convenient. So don't let it say anything about you, your capabilities, or your intelligence. It's just kind of democracy here, like the majority wins. So learn to say what you want. The other type of character that you meet is the worker that's the vocal worker. So this is just the worker that will do their work, but will speak and say their ideas and do all those kinds of things. The fourth personality or role in group work in university, I struggle to find a name for this person, but they are the tenacious, right? This person is the tenacious. And what I mean by that is this person is going to give it their best shot. They are going to put in great effort and hard work into their submission. However, it might not be the most correct or accurate thing, right? And the reason that is because in university, if you're in university right now, majority of us are likely to come across a module that isn't our best. It's a module that we're just hoping to get 50. It's a module that we just want to get over and done with. It's just a module that we want to pass and get out of the way, because maybe the concepts in that module are things that we're just like, I'm just struggling at this module. I'm struggling to understand the concepts, or to grasp the concepts. Maybe the lecturer isn't explaining to the way that I would understand. And so you'll find that there's going to be times where the module that I'm struggling with is the same module that I now have a group assignment in, which means I'm heading into an environment where I have to contribute to this group work, but I'm struggling to understand the concepts myself. Just a note about the tenacious: these people are intelligent, these people are smart, and these people are competent and hard-working students. It's just that, like everyone else, they run into a module that isn't necessarily their best. And this is where the group assignment has been given. The pros to this person is they will give it their best shot, they will give great effort, they will do the research, they will read the textbooks, they will go the extra mile to try and understand as best as they can, what's going on and what is needed from them. The only con with this person is that their submission might not have the accuracy that is required by other members. Like it might not be 100% accurate or 100% precise, but it will be heading towards the right direction. But there will be some like small minor details that have to be edited by other group members. I just want to say something else about this person to other members in the group. If you're the captain, if you're the academic, if you're the quiet worker, have some grace with this person. Give them a little bit more grace because they're walking into an environment where they already feel the pressure, they already feel the burden, not only to pass this module, but they're now being placed in a position where their contribution could have an effect on how other people do. And so they're trying their best to not mess it up for anyone else, but they're already trying to keep their head above water for themselves. And now they have to help everyone else row the boat. Like, don't be an obstacle to them. Don't be a wall to them. Don't interrogate them. Let me call out the role that's can be problematic to the tenacious is the academic, right? Sometimes you'll find that the academic wants things to such a high level, and the tenacious is really giving all that they've got, and to the academic, that's just not enough. Instead of being an obstacle to them, consider group work as a prime opportunity for them to get a better understanding of the work, and other members be willing to like patiently explain concepts and be like, okay, so I see that this is what you wrote, so my perspective is this, what do you think? And you'll find that group work is a really good platform for the tenacious person to learn and better understand certain concepts that they're not understanding from the lecturer or from a textbook or from the internet, but they better understand it from you, right? Because you're their peer and you can simplify those concepts for them. If you can assign to that person a section of the work that isn't as complex, then do that. Of course, the negative to that is that they don't have the opportunity to better understand the complexities of that module. But I mean, it's a give and take. Do what you think works for the group. Of course, this video wouldn't be complete without the fifth type of person in group work, which is the absent member. This member is the person who isn't communicating, they aren't active, they aren't submitting their work, no one knows where they are, who they are, and they're simply not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Of course, the con with this person is that they just don't communicate and don't participate in the work. But a caution that I would give is don't presume or don't assume that just because someone misses the first meeting that they're an absent member. With that first meeting, you'll find that there could be different things that happen. So sometimes someone could be really dedicated to getting the work done, but they just had an emergency, so they couldn't attend their first meeting and didn't have enough time to communicate with the rest of the members. You could find that there has been an administrative problem in the university system, so someone just doesn't know that they're assigned to that group, or but don't assume that just because someone hasn't attended the first meeting that they're automatically an absent member who doesn't want to do their work. No. Sometimes you'll find that there are people who are dedicated to the assignment, that will submit their work on time, that will submit high standard work, that will give their best effort, that will keep up with communication, that will simply not attend meetings. And you'll find that this person just doesn't have time to like travel to the meeting or to the meeting place because they have priorities, other more important things. You'll find this person usually is the person that has a job, or they live out of the university town, so they're unable to make it to the meeting place. But this person will 100% do their work. So once again, this is not an absent member. This is just someone who is unable to be present physically for meetings. We have reached the end of this video. If you have anything that you'd like to add, or anything else that you have observed in group work, or anything that you'd like to agree or disagree with, or any other ideas that you have for videos that you'd like to see on this channel, please put it in the comments down below. And I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video where we continue our conversation about group work. And the next thing we're going to be talking about is peer assessment reviews and how to go about that. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.